What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Shadow Tracker pistol because this weapon got a buff in Season 3 and Fortnite didn't really talk about this or include it in the patch notes at all. So that's what we're going to be discussing in this video. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of this pistol. So what changed with the Shadow Tracker pistol in Season 3 is now it is going to be fully automatic. I don't think the fire rate is actually changed. It just now has the maximum fire rate that it did before. So last season it was single shot where every time you tapped the trigger, it would fire a bullet. Now it's fully automatic. So if you had a really fast trigger finger last season, you were basically able to fire it as fast as it fires now. So it is a very, very good weapon. It's always been a good weapon, especially in zero build, but even in build mode, it's just been a solid weapon ever since it was included in the game. You know, solid damage. I think like 29 body and like 50 something headshot, like very, very respectable. It is suppressed, which can be beneficial under certain circumstances, especially this season with how dense the jungle biome can be. If you catch somebody off guard, it might be a little while before they're able to realize where exactly you are when you're shooting them with this weapon. And then it also marks people when you shoot them, which can be very helpful in team game modes, but also can kind of play into what I was talking about before with how dense the jungle biome is and how like thick the jungle is this season. When you tag somebody, if they get to like a bush behind one of these trees, if they're just camping in a bush in general and you tag them, they're going to be marked, and it's going to make it much easier for you to track that player and for your teammates to track that player and or like kind of know which person you tag. And like if you shoot somebody and they go around a corner, this is going to mark them and make it easier for you to track them and kind of predict what they're doing. And it's just always been a solid weapon as far as bloom goes. It doesn't have very much spread, even when you full spray it, and don't concern yourself with accuracy at all. Its max bloom is still pretty accurate for the ranges you're going to want to use it in. So I feel like overall the Shadow Tracker pistol has been a very, very solid weapon. And now it just got even better because it got easier to use for a lot of people. It's probably going to be shooting faster now than last season. And even if you were good at tap firing it, like I could usually shoot it pretty fast, it's just easier to hold the trigger and let it shoot itself rather than having to make sure you're tapping as fast as you can while also tracking the person, while also kind of making yourself a hard target to hit. Just got much easier and much more convenient to use. You can buy this Shadow Tracker pistol from the Peely NPC, which is outside Shady Stilts, which is pretty nice. Shady Stilts is a solid POI with a good amount of loot. You can buy the Shadow Tracker pistol from the Peely there. And also there are those temples that you can kind of use to generate a rift and get yourself out of there really quickly. So while it is kind of on the northern edge of the map, it doesn't really play out that slow or like you would expect an edge location to play out, because you can have these guaranteed rifts from these kind of like puzzle doors that you can open. And this is one of the nice things about the jungle biome is these guaranteed rifts. So that's what changed with the Shadow Tracker pistol. It's now fully automatic, which makes it more consistent for a lot of players and much easier to use. So now we're going to talk about should you use this weapon and kind of what type of loadout this weapon is ideal in, because it's in a weird spot where most people aren't going to want to use this as their main like long range weapon replacement. Some keyboard players might, but if you're a controller player, it doesn't like maintain aim assist at really long ranges. So it's unlikely that it's going to replace your red eye at those ranges. It can be used as a solid, like somewhat spray weapon. If you like the tactical pistol in the past, this is going to feel very similar, but it's just suppressed and it also has like more damage and it also marks people. So if you are someone who really enjoyed the tactical pistol in the past, it can be quite good, but I feel like it isn't the best spray weapon. And I've talked about this in a video earlier this season. If you're using something like the Havoc pump shotgun and you're going to be, you know, using pump and spray versus a drum shotty user, you have to be almost perfect. You have to hit a solid pump shot, you have to swap right, hit your spray weapon shots, and then probably swap to another pump shot to finish them off, hopefully, unless your like first opening pump shot was just like exceptionally good. So it can be good, but I don't prefer it as a spray weapon. I would kind of rather have either the SMGs or the flapjack rifle. I think are both better spray weapons, but this is just a very versatile weapon, and I think that makes it very good for sniper users. If you like running a sniper, but you didn't really know what else to use, I definitely could see something like heavy sniper or even the thermal DMR if you enjoy that. Your shotgun of choice, and then the Shadow Tracker pistol being a very solid loadout, because like I kind of talked about in my loadout video for the season, you have something for every range at that point. You know, you would have your sniper for very long range. You would have your pistol for like kind of close to medium range. It's very much a kind of like do it all weapon. And then you would have your shotgun for those like extreme close range fights. So I feel like that's always been one of the main kind of selling points of the Shadow Tracker pistol, in addition to the fact that it marks people and it's just a solid weapon and like not really, it's like a jack of all trades weapon. It does everything just fine, but also it kind of frees you up to carry some of the more like specialty or fringe weapons like snipers, DMRs, things of that nature, because it kind of can be good in that like kind of medium longish range where sometimes hitting a snipe shot might not be like as ideal, you know? And in the case of the drum shotgun, you might need something that's a little bit better at close medium range, since the range on the drum shotty is so poor. One thing that kind of holds me back from wanting to use this weapon is that their augments that we have currently in the game aren't that great for it. If we had pistol amp, I think it would be a lot better. I found myself in several situations, and this was in solos, mind you, where I would spray it out and then need to reload. And some of those more long distance fights, extreme close range, it's going to do just fine. But in some of those more like fringe fights I was talking about before, you noticed a lack of ammo capacity. And if pistol amp was in the game, the pistol magazine would be larger, and this would make it more viable for some of those situations. And when you're comparing it to something like the flapjack rifle, it's very hard to want to go for this instead of that. There is the light fingers augment, which will allow you to reload faster, which is nice, but I think it would be a lot more like ideal to use if it did have the larger magazine like you would get with pistol amp. And I would like to see the pistol amp augment come back into the game. I never really thought it was that overpowered, but it definitely made the tactical pistol and the Shadow Tracker pistol much better. Another potential use for this weapon is in team game modes if you have ammo concerns for whatever reason, because you could take this and just use light ammo for like a medium to long range weapon and then share your medium ammo with one of your teammates. But if you're getting this weapon consistently, you're probably landing Shady Stilts, and Shady Stilts has a good amount of loot and a good amount of ammo boxes. So if you're landing there and clearing that POI, I don't really think you should be having that problem that much. But the Shadow Tracker pistol has always been a really solid and fun weapon to use. So that is going to be it for this video. I just kind of wanted to inform you guys and let you know about this pistol being fully automatic, because it is a pretty crazy change. Like I said earlier on in the video, the Shadow Tracker pistol has always been good. So the fact that they buffed it in this season is just very, very unexpected. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Shadow Tracker pistol and what your favorite loadout to use with it is. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Soaring sprints would be so clutch right now. It's in one of the trees, but I don't know where. Dead.